Hello, and welcome to FxWB New Beginnings Podcast with Michelle. Happy New Year! Great to see you this Tuesday. Thank you so much for always tuning in and listening to our podcast here at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. We are grateful for your listening ear, and we are also grateful for all that you have requested for us to share during the past year and 3 months. We are in 2024 and we are excited and elated to be here today to share a little bit more of FxWB New Beginnings podcast. Today, we are going to interview someone. We are going to interview an individual of functional well-being. That individual is me. Yes, we are interviewing me today. My name is Michelle Bailey, and I am the owner of Functional Wellbeing and FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. I came on here today because I know a lot of people during this time of year have a lot of goals written up that they want to achieve. Some of them are health goals. Some of them are aspirations of starting a new business or even owning a new home, studying, getting their master's or even their doctorate in. People have so many different things going on in their lives today. And I wanted to share a story with you, my story. We all have a story, and here at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast, we share each other's stories to help others achieve goals out there and learn from each other's stories so we can enhance our well-being. We can enhance our well-being through different facets. We can look at health. We can consider our maker and how he can influence our well-being, along as well as look at finances, finding and cultivating our purpose. We can also look at areas of community building or even relationships and our environment. So there are many ways we can enhance our well-being. Today, I want to share my story. And my story, I'm going to share it from the aspect of enhancing one's well-being through health. So, if you don't know who I am Michelle Bailey, and I hail from Trinidad and Tobago. I currently reside in Indianapolis, Indiana, of the US. I have been an athlete for many, many years. I actually started competing as a bodybuilding athlete in 2002. And my story in the field as an athlete started then. But prior to that, I was just the ordinary young girl out there, not wanting to do anything physical because every time I step outside, I was one of those clumsy young ladies. I couldn't do things as in like I didn't know how to catch a ball or play sports or anything like that. I was not that girl. I was the one that would stay inside. Yes, I had the dolls and stuff too, but I wasn't into that. I was just into being me, reading, looking at television, learning about different aspects of life, and just wondering what would life have for me? What would I be in 20 or 30 years from now? Who would I be? I didn't really see myself as that girl to be with all other women um being in large groups of people, learning how to do many different things with others, that just never crossed my mind because I was always that shy girl. At 11, however, I decided I wanted to change me. And I started off with the concept of learning how to live better at 11. Yes. I started the journey of changing my outward appearance. Why? Because I saw at that age some of my family members were getting sick, didn't understand why they were always complaining about aches and pains, and didn't understand, you know, the concept of being sick when they look so healthy. And I didn't want to be there. So I decided, okay, Michelle, if you haven't been exercising, this is your opportunity to start doing something. So I started doing aerobics. Anybody knew about aerobics in the 80s when everybody started doing aerobics? Yep, I was one of them. I learned how to do aerobics and practice in my own home. Yep, nobody to look at me then. And then as I got older, I went to the local gyms and did aerobotons and really had fun with it. Our culture is one of music and dancing, so we loved aerobics and we still do in our country. A lot of people still do aerobic activities outside, do aerobotons and have Zumba. It's always really active and lively and fun in my country, Trinidad and Tobago. And we carried all over the world. So that is how got myself into physical activity. And then at age 16, I started lifting weights with my then boyfriend. Oh, I just loved working out that I told myself when I was about 21, I do not want to stop lifting weights. So I continued on and always remembered saying to myself, every year I need to be looking better than the last. So that was my goal. That was my simple goal then. Always wanted to look better than the last year. So I worked out all the time, religiously, 5, 6 times a week. I looked at my diet. I learned, researched things on my own. And I'm at a young age doing all of this. And I continued doing it throughout my life until I started bodybuilding in 2002. And that kind of propelled me even further into the life of fitness and nutrition. That is how I started enhancing my well being through the eyes of health. Health actually became a big part of my lifestyle because all the while I was trying to become an athlete, I had medical issues. Medical issues that some people may have experienced in their younger age, some people may not. I've had endometriosis since I think I was 12 because for me, in my cycle, I did not feel comfortable at all anytime it was coming around. I was one of those that did not like it at all. Come to find out, I had endometriosis, and in 2003, I had my first surgery to help alleviate the pain. But researching on the matter, I realized this is going to come back. And if I do not stick to being healthy, that is, eating healthy along with movement, exercising, I would not get much relief. So that was one of the main reasons for me to straight into competing as an athlete and continuing in the vein of becoming a bodybuilding athlete. I am a figure athlete. I did the category of figure. I also did the category of wellness. And I really do enjoy working out and seeing the transformation of my body all the time. Even though it was challenging to do so, it was such a great experience to be able to see that transformation happen in 12 to 6 weeks every time I do a show. Now, mind you, I said 12 to 6 weeks. That is for each show I was preparing for, I may take 12 to 6 weeks to transform for that particular show. But I was doing like 4 shows in a year so that I wouldn't feel sick. That's why. Because I knew if I was eating clean enough and I was working out, I would not feel as sick as when I'm not. So I was determined this is my lifestyle. I am going to do this to stay healthy. Being that I loved working out, learning how to transform the body, my career path changed a bit. So I've been in the field of business, but during that time of my life, I decided I want to learn more about the body. So I became an EMT for 2 years. Went into sports management because I was now getting into sports. I wanted to learn more about sports and understand the concept of sporting and entertainment. I even got into becoming a certified personal trainer. And for years, I've done bodybuilding events, take part in events, won shows, help others, take part in events too. I trained others as well. And all this time, my body was changing over the years. We ladies need to understand that our bodies are unique. We are unique. We are all unique. We are all different. And what may work for one person may not work for the other. So for me, I had that rude awakening from early because of my endometriosis. But because of the various stages of the menopause cycle, it played havoc on my experience as an athlete. As I said, everyone is unique, everyone is different. And when I say menopause, a lot of ladies don't like to hear that word. They get scared about the word. But I don't want you to be afraid of the word because it's just a word, one. Two, it's the various stages of a lady's life cycle. Each lady have their own life cycle, which we start off from a teen or when we first see our menstruation starting, and then we go through the different stages. When we consider these stages, we have to recognize that there are many different things happening to our bodies during this time. Hormone levels in particular changes in each stage of our menopause cycle. I want to share that with you because it did happen to me. And I know a lot of ladies would say, oh my gosh, I was doing good when I was in my teens. I could eat anything I want. I could do whatever I want. I could do the marathons and I'll lose all the weight. And then as soon as they hit their late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, things start to go haywire. They feel bloated. They start to have brain fog. They are not too sure. Okay, I'm running my 5Ks and marathons and I'm not losing the weight as before. That's because our bodies are changing. We are in another stage of our life cycle. For instance, when you think of the stages of menopause, there are four main stages. I like the content from Lane Regional Medical Center. They explain this as four major stages: pre-menopause stage, peri-menopause stage, menopause, and then post-menopause stage. And ladies, do not be afraid of the word, because that is what it is. That's our lifestyle cycle. Pre-menopause is pretty much you do not really have menopausal symptoms. There should not be any, but we may have symptoms of different things. So, for instance, for me, in my pre-menopause stage, I had endometriosis. When you do have medical issues occurring in your pre-menopause stage of life, you can have varying symptoms during the other stages of menopause. So sometimes we may not have anything going on and we are just fine. It's your reproductive years in the premenopause stage. It's normally when hormonal changes occur later on, like 8 to 10 years before you reach the other stage of perimenopause, is when things occur. And I'm talking about this in this particular podcast today because a lot of ladies out there don't know where they're at with their health. And I know a lot of ladies out there signing up for gym memberships, wanting to work out, wanting to see the results when they reach summer, and they want to get everything happening in the positive. And then when it doesn't happen, they are angry. I don't want you to be angry. I want you to learn that you may be in a stage of menopause that may be affecting the results that you're looking for come summertime. But don't be disheartened, because there are ways in which you can enhance your well being, see the transformations you're looking for if you find out where you're at and what you can do to help yourself. If you don't know what to do, guess what? Go to your doctor, your OBGYN, your functional medicine doctor, general practitioner doctor. Get your blood work done. Find out what's going on with you so that you can enhance your well being through your health the right way. If you're in the perimenopause, that's my ladies, if you're in your perimenopause era or time or stage like me in your 30s, 40s, even early 50s, the perimenopause era is when you may be having a lot of symptoms of things that you don't want happening to you. If you are in the perimenopause, which is stage 2 of the menopause cycle, if you're in that stage of menopause, you may be having those symptoms that are normally really challenging for us, really, really challenging for us. And this is normally the stage between pre-menopause and menopause. And it normally begins in us ladies in our late 30s, 40s, and it might last for several years, even in your 50s. One of the things that you need to be mindful of is your estrogen levels, hormone production starts to slow down. So if this is slowing down, then we start to see some really unfortunate things happening to our bodies. That's when we might start seeing indications of, oh, I'm always having migraines, or I'm having mood swings. My mood keep changing. Some people get depressed or have high levels of anxiety. Hot flashes. I know I have clients that are always talking about that. Hot flashes or joint pain. I don't have hot flashes. Why? Because I'm always feeling cold. That's because I've been anemic most of my life. So you have to remember everybody's different. Everybody may have different signs or symptoms. Some people don't have, or they don't recognize the signs and symptoms of perimenopause, but it's there. We have to be very careful in understanding what's going on with us so that we can help ourselves. So be mindful that sometimes the changes that we're looking for not going to happen just like that. It's going to happen with some work, with some background work, learning where you're at, learning what you can do to get to help yourself so that you can get the benefits of the physical activities that you're doing, which is that you should be doing versus the right nutrition that you should be eating. So if we're having hormonal imbalances going on, guess what? Food can help that too. So you can enhance your well being through knowing what are the right foods to consume. Yes. For me, I remembered in transitioning, I remember that it was really hard for me, who for a person who have been changing their diet, competing, working out all the time. And then when I recognized my change happening in the perimenopause stage, for me, I recognized that even though I was dieting and eating clean foods, not all of these clean foods were working for me. So I had to change my mindset to understand that not all healthy foods are healthy foods for you or for me. So I had to figure out what were the right foods for me. And I'm that person. I want to learn more. So I got into functional nutrition and understanding how foods work so that I could get to see the results for myself and for my clients. Learning about that was so mind opening for me. I really enjoy learning, and I'm still learning about understanding how nutrition plays a role in enhancing our health. But you can't go with it with a one mindset. You have to have an open mind to understanding why certain things work the way it does. Learn from others so that they can share with you things that may be beneficial for you. And then when you do this, you try to implement it. Implement these changes so that you too can feel better and enhance your well-being. So for me, it's been a really great journey learning about the body, learning how things can change based on the stage of the cycle of which you are at, and knowing that, hey, I'm not alone. This happens to other people, and there are ways that can help you stay healthy and feel better. But let's throw something in there. I've had endometriosis. How about you? Somebody else might have cancer or have been diabetic. So think of it this way: if you have medical issues going on with you, and you are also in the peri-menopause stage of your life cycle, you'll be like, oh, doomed. No, you're not. There are foods, physical activity, and other things you can do to help your mind to think better and research information so that it can help you. Yes, because it's an individualistic thing, help you enhance your body and enhance your well-being in the long run. So me sharing this story today is really more so to help you share your story. You, at this time of the year 2024, you have goals. You want to change how you look, for example, or you want to feel better and comfortable in your own skin. Write down what has been your issue, because it has influenced you all this time and it will still influence you as you go forward. Find out more. Get your blood work done. Know that if you talk to your doctor, they should be able to guide you. Get a professional trainer to help you. Get a professional coach to help you, a nutritionist to help you, so that you can get the right tools to help you live better. 2024 is here. January, we in the second week of the year, the year, and the second week of the month. I want you to get out there and do it right. Get the help that you need. I'm hoping that my story would help you and motivate you to learn more about yourself and seek the help and assistance that you need to live better. So that's my story. What is your story? If you want to share your story with others and it would help them or impact them by enhancing their well-being in different ways, you can do so at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. Just as I have shared in the last few 20 minutes or so of my story, you can do the same. You can email me at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. You can leave a message for me. You can reach out to me on my podcast and my emails. You can reach out to me. Leave a comment on here and I will connect with you. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram. My page is Functional Wellbeing LLC on Instagram or on Facebook or even LinkedIn. Reach out to me and I can help you find ways to enhance your well-being. And I would love for you to share your story with us here at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast Community. Like and subscribe, FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. We would love to hear your story and share it with others. To have a very prosperous 2024. Enjoy being physically active. Enjoy learning more about yourself. And be mindful that all that you do enhances your well-being in some way. Be blessed, and I will be back next week sharing more with you, another story. Have a blessed week. Talk with you guys soon.